in because it's just such a
Um,
crapshoot.
Yeah, I agree. But speaking of spiraling, let's talk about this Eagles passing attack. A lot of controversy coming out of post Eagles game here with AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. You had Brandon Graham touch on that. If you guys haven't seen that, clearly some beef going on. But then again, this could just be all fabricated stuff that we see on the outside. Who knows what the details of it are? But I want to ask you this: like, how do you feel about the Eagles passing attack? Because when I watch this team, I can kind of see the frustration too from AJ Brown. Not very consistent when it comes to their aerial attack here. And is Jalen Hurts just too dependent on the whole tush push in the running game by Saquon?
Oh, absolutely on that front. Yeah, like the success of Jalen Hurts on in the air has not been his betting call. Like this has not been
No.
his uh his game. That's like if we're saying that that's his game, then we're kind of stupid to be honest. Like they would make there's great to have these assets. They're there when they need them. But like this has not been like his the tush push, the rushing, the goal line stuff. That's the identity that's been formed over the last couple of years here. This is not the first time AJ Brown has said something about this either. Now, is he saying specifically, and this was my take from this, is he saying specifically that the passing, as in the passing percentage that they're doing in the game, is too little for them to then have success in it? Or is he calling out specifically Jalen Hurts on his passing ability? And that was
Sounds
my
could be a bit of both here, sounds like.
I think there is a little bit. He's done this. Like he's actually had this before where he's, called out number one, his usage. We've seen him on the sidelines get pissed
Yeah.
off about this shit. This is definitely part of his identity as a player that he wants the ball. And that's, we love that in a guy. Like you want the ball, you want to be the guy. Sweet. Definitely wide receiver one on this team. That was the whole thing about Devontae Smith's growth. Is that going to be able to
Yep.
happen with AJ Brown kind of being the alpha dog saying, no, it's my ball. You're not allowed to touch it. Right. And so there is a passing opportunity with this team. We know that. I don't think it's not efficient though. It's not like Jalen Hurts doesn't throw touchdowns. Like it's still there, but the game is they're so balanced on offense. The part to me that confuses is like if you're able to win games, shut the fuck up. Like in my
Well, I
opinion,
think he's
like
frustrated because they were on the verge of not winning against the Carolina Panthers team that's pretty
oh
ass,
yes,
right? Now, mind you, they've been
well they're
scrappy past
playing
couple of weeks,
better.
but
Yeah.
yeah, this is the thing though. Like, I think he's frustrated because when shit doesn't go your way, maybe in the running game or whatever it may be, and you're in these games and you need some sort of passing attack,
Mhm.
it's just not there. And I watched a bit of the film from the games, and man, Jalen Hurts just you see AJ Brown out of his routes, and obviously timing and everything is so important for a receiver and their quarterback. He's just pulling it down and he's running a lot of the time, and that's kind of the problem here. Is he's from a quarterback perspective, you got to be able to get the ball out, and you got to be accurate, especially in tighter windows, right? Like, and you see this with these quarterbacks. Like, sure, Jalen Hurts can throw a deep shot, something like that. That's great.
Mhm.
But when it comes to timing and precision and things like that, not his strong suit. And I think that's hurting their passing attack a little bit more. You got these receivers that are winning on the outside, and Jalen Hurts is just simply not putting the ball on them. So I mean, I kind of side with AJ on this, and it's like I don't know. I gotta not really sure what Jalen Hurts is as a quarterback. I think you get a lot of that stuff covered up by the run game and the tush push and just how this team is fundamentally built. But at the end of the day, it's a team sport too, right? Like you have your strengths, you have your weaknesses, and if Jalen Hurts has a weakness, you're going to disguise that by being
To me,
gravitating towards your strengths, right?
yeah, I get that too. But like what is his like if they're not running passing plays, which let's just go through. Let's be devil's advocate here. So from week 7, and let's actually even go week 6. From week 6, let me list off the passing attempts. So 25 against Cleveland, 14 against the Giants, 20 against Cincinnati, 24 against Jacksonville, 20 against Dallas, 28 against Washington. He might have hit his over there. 22 against the Rams, 19 against Baltimore, and 21 against Carolina. This is not what this team is doing. So that's
Yeah.
where I would lean more to the passing as a question mark. Like, we're not passing the ball enough to get the value out of an AJ Brown
Yeah.
or a Devonta Smith. Like, that's the question here. I don't think necessarily is it like, hey, are we not winning or are we not being successful? Because clearly 11-2 would say otherwise. And Saquon's MVP type of season would also say otherwise. They are being successful. I think it's kind of like, to me, I think it's just kind of selfish in a way. Like, I think it's, yo, if you're winning, and the dynamics of how your team is operating is pretty simple. Pass is not a lot, rush is a lot. Like,
Yeah.
that's the rush pass percentage with your team. Do you feel shitty about that because you're probably not getting a bonus because of your receptions that's in your contract? Yes, that's probably what's leading to that stem
Could
frustration.
be.
But is anything past that from the point of like a team perspective? No, like I wouldn't put this on Jalen Hurts. That's not what he's been. That's what not like the playbook is designed to do in this season. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is that's my takeaway. I don't think this is like, how can you put this on one guy and one part of the team? The team is winning. So what are we
Yeah.
talking about?
Well, I look at it from AJ Brown's standpoint. It's like, man, like, yeah, he probably sees that they could be better in the passing game, and like it needs to be better if they want to be successful down the run. Because
Does it?
who knows, right? Like, we know your strength is there, but also the fact that you can run the ball so well should complement the fact that your passing game is going to be even better. Play action, things like that. But they don't run a lot of that. Like,
Yeah.
it's confusing to me to see, but I get the frustrations, man. I get it.
We've
He's
won
open
eight
on a lot
straight.
of plays, and yeah,
We won eight
that
straight.
well,
And
that's
that's the and I just listed the last 8 games. Like,
yeah,
has it worked? Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So what are we doing? Like, what's the
That's
that's
your
the that's
quarterback, man. Like, that's your
that's your
team. That's how
that's
it's
your
built.
QB. Yo, take a
That's
page out of Terrell's book. Start crying for the guy.